Hello there, scientists. It's Miss Jade for a windy Monday observational video in our garden. This is our last day on campus before kiddos are welcomed back for their hybrid days. How exciting! I wanted to show you here, scientists, two flowers that I was observing this morning in the garden. These are two native plants, which means they've evolved over a long period of time to live in our area, especially a little more Pacific Northwest, but also down into California. This is one of my favorite ones. Look at these beautiful pendulous hanging pink flowers. These beautiful, kind of a little bit bumpy leaves here. This is a flowering currant, and it is in bloom right now. Pollinators are loving this native plant. The flowers are saying, "Come get my nectar." Really special to see that one in bloom. And another one that I have been noticing lately is also doing really well right now. These beautiful lilac colors. This is the California lilac, the Ceonethus plant. And if you listen quietly and just observe, you might see some bees coming to pollinate. I can hear them. Oh, let's see if we can catch any on the camera today. Can you see any, scientists? Do you see any bees pollinating the California lilac and the flowering currant today in our native zone? Some special flowers that I wanted to share with you. Also, scientists, there's something kind of interesting and different that's going on in our garden, and I thought I would show you up close and personal today. So, our lacinato kale, also known as dino kale, you'll notice that it's doing something a little bit different. You can see off of this main stem here, there are these side buds that are growing more stems, and if you look in closely there, you can see that a new plant structure is forming right in there. And if I follow up, you can see there's more here as well. And even the very tip of this one, you can see those structures are open here. What are those? That's right, those are flowers, scientists. So oftentimes when our annual plants that only live for 1 year, 1 season, the annuals are completing their life cycle. They are showing that they are done. They are coming to the end of their life cycle. So they're making the flowers, and eventually those will get pollinated and get turned into tiny little fruits, and there'll be seeds in there. They won't look like fruits like an apple or a watermelon, but they technically will be like little fruits down there with seeds inside. So when a plant like an annual like our kale is going to flower, we can call that bolting, or going to seed, or going to flower. That means it is entering the flowering stage, and the plant usually goes straight upright at that point. And the plant is showing that it's all done. Oftentimes when plants are flowering or bolting at that point, that means that the leaves will often maybe get a little more bitter at that point, and you might not want to eat the leaves anymore. So you can see that this other kale plant, wow, looks like it's been really mauled by something is super munching on all the leaves this past week. Wow. Amazing. But you can see that these kale branches are also going to flower. They are finishing up their life cycle. And same over here with these other kale plants. And you'll notice too that those flower structures, they almost look like broccoli when they're going to flower. And that's because kale and broccoli are in the same family, friends. So these flowers look pretty similar. And you know, broccoli is the part the flower part that you eat on a broccoli plant. So you actually are eating the flowers. So this is actually a broccoli plant. And you can see some student scientists were coming in here and munching on them, which is excellent. And so these are the broccoli heads, the flowers that you eat. But if we don't get to them in time, they're eventually going to open up and go to seed. First they'll go to flower, then they'll go to seed. So they are finishing up their life cycle. And in the garden, I like to leave these that we don't eat, the flowers that we don't eat, and I let them get pollinated. That way they can make some more fruits and seeds, and also I leave them so pollinators can have a delicious meal in our garden. And it helps the whole ecosystem. Maybe you can find some plants in your neighborhood that are going to flower or going to seed. Sometimes you'll also notice a plant might bolt really quickly if the weather has changed. So I had this lettuce over here and it's stunted. It's very small because this bed doesn't have too much nutrients in it. But I was watching this lettuce plant and then look, it started growing more up instead of out. And look, there's a little flower head forming at the top. So it is also going to flower. So it is bolting. It's saying, oh, I'm done. I'm done with my life cycle. I'm ready to make some seeds and be done. And the seeds will start a whole new life cycle again. That is the way it goes with our annuals plants, friends. All right, my wonderful scientists. Stay warm today. Stay dry. Talk to you soon. Bye, friends.